Children, today we will learn the first poem in English, Where the Mind is Without Fear. This poem is written by Rabindranath Tagore. Now first let us know something about Rabindranath Tagore. As you all know that you get the question of appreciation. In appreciation you have to write few lines about the poem and the poet. Rabindranath Tagore was born in Calcutta on 7th May 1861. He was a poet who wrote on various subjects. He wrote some stories, plays, songs, and of course he has also written the poem. His work on various subjects has been reshaped in Bengali literature. Translation of his subjects were published diversely. You all know that Tagore was the first non-European to receive Nobel Prize in Literature. He received it in 1930. You know that there are many Indians who have received this Nobel laureate. After Rabindranath Tagore, it was C.V. Raman who received Nobel Prize for Physics. We have Mother Teresa who received it for peace. Dr. Amartya Sen for economics, and we have Kailash Satyarthi who again received Nobel laureate for peace. This great poet who has written the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear has composed many poems, stories, essays, novels, dramas and songs as seen earlier. Right? Now, this poem was written during the period when India was struggling for freedom from the British rule. It was a part of Gitanjali, a set of poems which was published in English in 1912. Tagore originally composed it in Bengali under the title Prarthana, which means prayer. He himself has translated the poem in English. Now, this poem is a prayer, as we have seen it earlier, and in this poem, Tagore prays to God for a true freedom for his country. It reveals Tagore's concept of freedom, where he appears for God for social, educational as well as economic freedom for the people of India. Let us now read the poem together, children. Where the Mind is Without Fear, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the word has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habits, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thoughts and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Children, have you noticed one important characteristic of this poem? The poem begins with where the mind is without fear and the head is high, and ends with let my country awake. The poem has been written in one single sentence. then there is no rhyme scheme or no regular rhythm in this poem. Now, let us explain the poem verse by verse. The first line is, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. See, Tagore has written this poem when the freedom struggle was going on in India. In this very first line, Tagore wishes that everyone in this free country must hold his head high in dignity. Everyone should be fearless and should have sense of dignity. In this poem, if you will observe, the poet has used the figure of speech alliteration to beautify the poem. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, sound H is repeated to increase the poetic effect of the poem. The line, where knowledge is free, is not very difficult to understand, children. All of us know that during the pre-independent period and to some extent even after the independence, there prevailed differences in religion, caste, color and creed, and even education system was not exception to this. Tagore dreams of India as the country where knowledge will be free. Each and every one of us will be able to avail with the education facilities. He wished that children should acquire knowledge from nature, and this very thought of Rabindranath Tagore must have prompted him to start Shantiniketan, where children learn from nature in natural surroundings. According to him, children should not be forced to memorize some predetermined lessons, and here we learn about his unique concept of education. Each and every Indian citizen should be allowed to acquire education as per his liking. He should not concentrate only on bookish knowledge but should learn from nature as well. Thus, the line, where knowledge is free, tells us a lot of things about Rabindranath Tagore's idea of education. The next two lines of the poem are, where the world has not broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. These two lines emphasize the unity of the people, the unity of his countrymen as well as unity of the whole world are emphasized in these lines. The division of people on the basis of caste, color, creed and religion have no room in his dream. Nothing on the world should break the unity of the people. He doesn't want the people to believe in baseless superstitions too. In other words, prejudices and superstition should not divide the people in groups and break their unity. If we see now figure of speech, in the line, the narrow domestic walls, the poet has used metaphor. You will see that there is an indirect comparison between the narrow domestic walls and the narrow-minded divisions in the society. In the fifth line, Tagore wishes that the people of his nation will be forthright and honest. Their words should come out from their hearts. The words should be clear and distinct. This fifth line, where words come out from depth of truth, indicate Tagore's love for truth. He wants his people to be truthful. Each and every spoken word should come out from the depth of heart. The next line in this poem is, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. The poet wants that in free India, everyone must work hard to reach the goal. People should never feel tired of working hard. They should never be lazy. Instead, they should work tirelessly for perfection. The poet has used here personification. As an inanimate object, striving has been given the human quality of being tireless and stretching its arms. Let us now see what Rabindranath Tagore has to say in the line where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habits. In this line, the clear stream of reason stands for clear thinking, and dreary desert sand of dead habit means old traditional rituals, customs, and superstitions followed without logic and which are harmful to the growth of the society. In short, people's thoughts should be monitored by rational thinking and not by superstitions. Logic should rule over old baseless beliefs. The poet prays God that Indians should be logical and progressive in thoughts and actions. He wants the power of reason to dominate the minds of his countrymen. He does not want the logical thinking of people to be lost among outdated customs and tradition. It should be a nation where blind superstitious habits of thoughts and actions have not put out the light of reason, where people's minds should not dwell in the mistakes of the past. On the other hand, they should be led by the power of reasoning. Rabindranath Tagore imagines habits to be a desert. The streams of reason seems to him to be lost in the sand of habit. This means that he is saying that people of the country blindly believe in superstitions at present, and he would like them to question this belief through the application of logic, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thoughts and action. The poet in this line wishes that his countrymen to be progressive and broad-minded. He wants that their minds are led forward to ever-widening thoughts and actions by the Almighty. In short, people should be open-minded and do something unusual or extraordinary, overcoming the narrowness of mind. Rabindranath Tagore wants the country to be led forward by God into the freedom of broadened attitude and mindset. He requests the Father to awaken his country into such a haven of freedom. In these lines, the poet directly speaks to God. He wants his countrymen to be led by him, that is God, so that they broaden the horizon of both their thoughts and their actions. If they were to do so, then India would be transformed into heaven, a heaven where all its citizens would be truly free. In the concluding lines, which are, "Into the haven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake," Rabindranath Tagore addresses God as Father and prays to raise or lift his country to such heights where freedom would be realized at its best. In turn, he is actually praying that God awakens his countrymen so that they come out from the darkness of ignorance, prejudices, disunity, and all other evils. The poem is written in such a way that it feels like a divine prayer to the Almighty on his different definitions of freedom for his country to be built on basis of knowledge, truth, and justice. The poem Where the Mind is Without Fear is not only one of the best known but also widely read poems of Tagore. This is because its message can easily stand the test of time. We know that this poem was written in the pre-independent period, but of course it was inspirational to the freedom fighters of India at the time in which it was written. However, it has continued to move readers for a century since then. The way in which it defines freedom is radical. Not just freedom from the rule of another race, but freedom of the mind. That is the kind of freedom that every man craves. Even one who is living in a supposedly free state. That is why its subject matters is relatable to all leaders and it inspires them greatly as well.